Good morning, Larry.
Morning, Jim.
We're sitting here today to talk to the Building Owners and Managers Association about the energy audits and retro commissioning that you did here at Wayne State University in Detroit. And as you know, and as I know, but now the audience will know, this was a project of the local electric utility, DTE Energy, to find only low-cost and no-cost energy efficiency modifications that we could make to the various buildings. And this particular building that we're talking about today is the Academic Administration Building. How did these audits actually happen?
We were approached by Detroit Edison with a potential pilot project that they wanted to engage with. So we said we were interested. We as a university understood the value of retro commissioning, but given the tight budgets that we're always under, it was something that we couldn't afford to do all the time. So when DTE came to us with this proposal to do this energy audit and at a low cost to us with some provisions, we were all in favor of that.
Would you just explain, if you would, what we did during the audit? How that whole audit went about?
Basically, we sat down with you and your team, and we put together a small team of our own to go through some of the buildings that we thought were potential candidates for this program. And again, given the fact that we were only looking at initiatives that had a 2-year or less payback, that kind of narrowed the field, so to speak. So we chose this building, our Academic Administration Building, which we thought was a good candidate. And as far as we looked at the drawings, we spoke to some of the people in the building itself to understand what were some of their complaints, and then kind of built the program around that.
Okay, and what were some of the things that we found, Larry?
Things like outside air dampers that weren't doing what they should be doing, i.e. they were staying open all the time even though the system said they were closed. Scheduling, there was a lot of schedule issues that needed to be adjusted. Ductwork that was leaking, VAV boxes that weren't performing properly, some control issues, dirty coils, VFDs that were in hand position. Those are some typical things that we discovered.
What are you doing with your building automation systems on the overall on the campus now?
We're consolidating our building management systems. So we're in the process of upgrading a lot of our buildings, some of the older building management systems, bringing those up to a newer level. We get all that information back to our head end, and that gives us a more real-time review of what's going on in our buildings through our monitoring center.
Oh, and you just actually reminded me of something else when you mentioned the word real time. Are you doing anything with this information that you can get now with additional sensors with the Internet of Things?
We are. I'm anticipating getting some funding to support some of that. We've identified one of our research buildings as a good candidate for this analytics, or whatever the latest buzzword is for that. I see there's a lot of value in certain applications, and to get the real-time information and to help identify when systems go out of kilter or out of schedule.
Mm-hmm. This program, through the utility, you had to kind of promise that you would spend a certain amount of money.
Correct.
So this particular AAB building, I think was between $10,000 and $15,000, something like that. And what did you actually find out were the savings?
I think we invested about $13,200 in the initiatives that you had identified, and we did implement all the ones that you had identified within that criteria. And our actual savings were, I believe, they exceeded $20,000. So it was a good investment.
This one, we had projected that you'd spend around $13,000, you'd probably get savings of about that amount every year, and it turned out to be well over $20,000.
And I guess we were pleasantly surprised, because going into this project, we thought this building wasn't too bad. Before we started, we thought, it wasn't too bad. Let's see what Jim can find for us. So it proved to be a very successful endeavor.
How would you say this program actually turned out overall, in addition to the AAB building?
Overall, I would say it was very successful. I can't think of one building that the program was not successful in, and I think we did maybe a half a dozen buildings. So I was very pleased with the overall results of the program itself. And for the money that we invested as a university versus the value that we got, I think was exceptional. The consulting services that you provided in itself, I think, was just a tremendous savings or a cost avoidance to the university. So we truly recognize the value that the program brought to the university.
So I thank you very much. I know the DTE was happy, you were happy, and so were we.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a win-win for
Right.
all parties.
Exactly. Well, thanks for giving us your time, Larry.
All right, thank you, Jim.